US warned it could face Pearl Harbor style attack as Russia conducts war games off Hawaii. World War III fears are rising in the Pacific as tensions rise between the US, China, and Russia, with dire warnings of the threat of another Pearl Harbor. Japanese Defense Minister Nakayama gave a chilling assessment of the situation as discussed threats from China to Taiwan and potential to Hawaii from Russia. Mr. Nakayama was speaking at the Hudson Institute and reportedly claimed China and Russia are preparing jointly for the threat of a major war exploding in the region, according to the Washington Examiner. We have to show the deterrence towards China, and not just China but also the Russians, because as I told you that they are doing their exercises together. And to hammer home his point about the threat in the Pacific, he pointed to recent war games which Russia carried out just 35 miles from the US state Hawaii. He compared the threat to that of Pearl Harbor, the Japanese surprise attack that dragged the US into World War II at the end of 1941. 70 years ago, we attacked Pearl Harbor, but now the US and Japan are very good allies, one of the best allies all over the world, he said. I don't want to remind 70 years ago, but we have to be careful of the exercising of the Russians. They are taking place the western side of the Honolulu, I mean in Hawaii. Russian war games saw the USS Carl Vinson aircraft carrier and its strike group deployed to the region for its own exercises. And meanwhile, Vladimir Putin's forces practice sinking enemy ships nearby with missiles and artillery firings designed to check their readiness in a hot climate. Mr. Nakayama described the stretch of the sea between Japan and Hawaii, an area of around 4,100 miles, as becoming zone often used by Russia and China. He said, for the United States, the protection line is going to be backwards a little bit. US forces has to be scramble fight F-22 fighter jets to meet Russian bombers near Hawaii to ensure they did not enter US airspace, an incident which took place as Putin was due to meet US President Joe Biden. Putin has this year ordered a succession of military exercises across Russia, 11 time zones, amid to the highest tension between East and West since the collapse of the Soviet Union 3 decades ago. And amid the warnings in the Pacific, NATO war games are taking place in the Black Sea following a tense standoff between the Russian Navy and British destroyer HMS Defender. Mr. Nakayama also spoke about seemingly constant threat from China towards Taiwan, with the communist giant seeking to reunify the breakaway island that has declared independence. The Japanese minister said, I think the Taiwanese are really concerned, and also they are focusing on the two big countries collaborating and a lot of threat towards Taiwan. China regards Taiwan as a renegade province by the is island's government maintain a positive relationship with the US, who appear willing to defend them from aggression from China. We have to protect Taiwan as a democratic country, he said. And as expected, China reacted angrily to Mr. Nakayama's description of Taiwan as a country on multiple occasions. China's ambition to reclaim Taiwan were hammered home again today as Communist Party marked its 100th anniversary with a fiery speech from President Xi Jinping. President Xi said solving the Taiwan question and realizing the complete reunification of the motherland are the unswerving historical task of the Chinese Communist Party and the common aspiration of all Chinese people. All sons and daughters of China, including compatriots on both sides of Taiwan Strait, must work together and move forward in solidarity, resolutely smashing and Taiwan independent plot. Taiwan hit back quickly and blasted China for trampling on people's freedom and accused it of being a dictatorship and said it will defend its sovereignty from Beijing. Elsewhere in his speech, President Xi also appeared to throw down a gauntlet as an ambitious China continues to rise despite the COVID pandemic. He warned China's enemies would have their heads be blasted bloodily. As chilling satellite pictures reveal, he is building more than 100 nuclear missile silos. The all powerful leader told crowds that no one should underestimate the resolve of the Chinese people and that Beijing would put an end to sanctimonious preaching, another veil dig at Washington. Thank you.